welcome to my office. My name is Calliope. Please get comfortable. Give me just a moment. Excellent. Let's see. Very good. You mind just confirming your name for me? Okay, good. I did have the right person. Excellent. So, today I have written down that you've requested an iridology health assessment. Is that correct? Wonderful. So, what do you know about iridology? Okay, yeah, just a little overview, right? Looking at the iris. So, if you'd like, I'd love to give you a little history, explain a little bit about what it is, maybe show you a diagram. Yeah? Excellent. So, iridology is thought to have been around for quite a long time. Some people argue and say that it's been around since the mid-1600s, based on some information that was published in a book called the Chiromatica Medica. Now, officially, it was founded by a Hungarian doctor in the late 19th century. There is a little story about how he found an owl with a broken leg, and he had noticed an abnormality in the owl's eye, and he thought, well, I wonder if the little spot in the owl's eye is connected to the broken leg. So from that little encounter with the owl, he ended up studying this science that he called iridology. Now, it kind of faded in and out over the years until about the 1950s. And then we had a chiropractor by the name of Bernard Jensen, who ended up giving it a huge surge in popularity, and many attribute the continued survival of the practice to Mr. Jensen. So that's a little bit on the history of iridology. Now, the practice itself is a diagnostic method in order to assess future health risks, past health conditions, your susceptibility to diseases, your organ strengths, their weaknesses, basically a very in-depth look at your body, how your body works, what it does well, and what it maybe does not do well. So, using your eyes, your irises, they are a little map into the condition of your body and of your organs. And using a few simple tools, I can look at your eyes and get a comprehensive view of the condition of your body now, how it's been in the past, as well as how it's likely to be in the future. Right? Any questions so far? Okay. So, what I'm going to be using today with you is I employ quite a few different instruments. I have a couple of pen lights. I have an ophthalmoscope. And I have two different magnifying glasses, in addition to using a camera to take a picture of your irises. I'm going to be using all of these to really study your irises and get a good look into your health and perhaps what we can do and look at in the future to make sure that you keep as much health and vitality as you can. All right? Okay. So since I'm going to get up close and personal with your eyes, I am going to sanitize my hands. And then we'll go ahead and real quick take a look at our diagram. And then it'll be all set up for me to study while we're looking at your eyes. Give me just a moment. There. Let's turn up the brightness, shall we? There. Okay. Let's see here. Very good. So that's a good picture, I think. Okay. So we have our iridology map here. We have the right eye and the left eye, and each eye corresponds to one side of the body, the right eye being the right side, left eye being the left. There are some points, some zones that are only on one side as opposed to the other. But we're going to be looking at, for example, right here we have a point, a zone for the vocal cords. Or here we have a point for the lower back, the kidney, the liver, the ear, the shoulder, the stomach right around the pupil. Or on the left side, we have the spleen, we have the esophagus, we have different sensory organs, as well as some of your brain's abilities, like mental ability, mental speech. And we have the lung, the heart, stomach again, right around the pupil there. So I'm going to be looking at all of these different zones. Now, I believe some of the earlier iridology maps had about 60, whereas more modern maps tend to have between 80 and 90 different zones. But I'll be looking at all of these areas right here in order to get a good picture into your current health, your past health, and your future. So, I'll just be taking some notes with your chart here and using our little chart to also go off of. So all I need you to do is just look forward for me and relax, all right? Okay, so to start with, I just like to take a little look at the eyes, just a raw look. I'm not going to be using any light. I'm not going to be using any magnifying glasses just yet. Just looking at the eyes and noting, first off, if there's anything I see immediately. I'm just going to be looking at one eye right here and looking at the other eye right here. So let me see. I might get a little close with my pen here, but I'm not going to poke you, I promise. It just helps me pinpoint my concentration and my focus. Take a closer look at this eye here. Just keep looking. You may just hear me talking to myself a little bit. If you'd like, we can chat as we do this. Otherwise, you may just hear me whisper a little bit here and there. Some of it may sound a bit nonsensical. Going to have a quick little review. Okay, very good. Now, let's bring out some of our fun little tools, yeah? So let me look at your eye with the weakest of my pen lights first. I like to do one tool at a time. That way, as I am essentially combing through each area of the eye, right about there. Okay. As I'm combing through each part, I'm noticing any abnormalities, whether it's a trick of the light, but if it keeps showing up, then obviously it's not exactly a trick of the light. Or perhaps it's something that, is that something, is it not? But if I see it multiple times with multiple tools, then that probably is something. Multiple tools, multiple looks. When there's so many zones and we're dealing with something as important as the health of your life, your entire body, I want to respect that that is a very important topic, and I want to give it my entire attention. Good. So it's just a very weak little light here. We will get into a couple more strong lights. Just making sure that whatever I noted before is indeed backed up each time. So for example, a little, what's known as a freckle, was on the nose zone, and I was able to back that up with a little look with our light. So each time that I can verify that I have a spot that I've seen or a change in the fiber, then I'll write that down. Good. Okay. Then let's just switch here to this other eye. I tend to spend a good amount of time on each eye. Again, for the sake of being very thorough. Okay, and that little spot. Okay. There's a bit. That would be number 2 that I saw that spot. I'm going to emphasize that even if I should find something that this may be something that's happened in the past, it might be something that you are currently dealing with, but it might also be something that you are susceptible to in the future. And I'll also be taking some pictures so that I can review them and assess a little bit better as to whether it's something you could be dealing with in the future or if it was something in the past. Right there. Right in that spot, I think. Right in that spot. Okay. Let's look just a little bit more before we bring in some more tools. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Not too much on the left side. That's good. Now, let me see. Okay, I'm going to be bringing out a stronger light, and I'm going to use one of our magnifying glasses as well. So this one I use in the beginning, whereas my other one I tend to use for the finishing touches. So right about there. Okay. Give me just a moment. And let's see. So that's a new one. I'll have to keep that in mind for when we look with our stronger magnifying glass and our ophthalmoscope. Okay. How did you happen to come upon my services? Just browsing around? Thought it might be interesting. Yeah, believe it or not, that's how a lot of people come my way. Okay, right there. couple of points that I spotted before. Make sure that those are verified. Okay, let me just a little closer here. Okay. And if I go through this tiny okay. Please forgive me. I like to talk quite a bit. I operate on radio rules, if you will. And on the radio, if you have dead air or silence, nobody talking, right? That is a cardinal sin. And I also tend to operate the same way. At least in my work. While personally, I am one of those that is quite comfortable in silence with other people. In my work, not so much. In my work, I feel the need to be quite verbose about what I'm doing. Make sure that everyone is on the same page and they know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Okay. Moving on to the other eye. I am one of those people that, unfortunately, I don't often understand what it is that someone is doing, or even what they want me to do, unless it explained quite literally. And even then, I need consistent reminders and very descriptive reminders. I saw that spot before. I'm going to verify that one. Some say that perhaps I'm not paying quite enough attention, but I find that I'm almost trying to pay too much attention. So much so that I end up getting caught up in the thinking, in the methods, and I don't exactly understand what I'm not understanding. I know it is quite annoying for many people. I'm told that quite often. But it's just something that's been my entire life. Just built different, I guess. In some ways, it's helped me to not make too many mistakes because I've asked so many times how something is to be done, and I do it exactly by the book so that I don't mess it up. But when someone tells me to think about it a little bit and suss out what I'm supposed to do, oh, that's not very good at all. Okay, and that one's verified. Very good. Let's see if we can find anything else on this side. So, in my work, I tend to be very descriptive about what I'm doing. Make sure that the other person is with me every step of the way. Make sure nobody gets lost. And for the most part, I think that that sort of way of dealing with people has been quite successful for me. At least no one can say that I was being vague. Okay, and that right there, I see just a little point right there, I think. We will double check that. Okay. Good. And let's look just a little bit longer. I'm not seeing too many things. While that is good, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something. There we are. Very good. No, not so much. It almost makes me worry just a bit. Especially when I found some things on the right side, but not so much on the left. Either your left side is simply built different, or perhaps I just need a bit of a stronger look. That could be it as well. So I think this time I'll start with our stronger magnifying glass. There, on this side, it's a little clearer. And I was correct. And there's just a little spot right there. Let's just note that down. Okay, very good. Now, if I don't see too much with this one, then that is sure to mean that perhaps the left side is just doing a little bit better. Okay. All right, and I can definitely see those two spots right there that I had noticed just with my eyes alone. So those are being verified. Now the next one, I want to take a look at that one as well. I just want to make sure. Good. And indeed, I can see that. Very good. Now I'm just going to keep looking around a little bit, since I already had found something with this magnifying glass that I hadn't with my other tools. Just want to make sure that I am not missing anything else. Right. Don't think that seeing too much, seeing too many new things, just have the few spots that just okay, so the little freckle. Okay, and then the couple of newer spots. Let's take a look at those. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. And let's see. We can just look just a little bit more. And then we'll look with the ophthalmoscope just to make sure. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else there, which is good. So now we'll use this tool. So the light is a touch weak, but the advantage of this is that I can get up real close here and I can look at your eyes. And this gives me a bit of a pinpoint look at your eyes. So let's go ahead and just go right here. I just want to make sure that the spots that we found before, that they are indeed there. Okay, so we have right there. And then if I look just a little bit below that one, then we get into, there it is. Alright, so that one I can see. And that one. Okay, there's another two. And that last one that we just found with the previous round of investigating, I'm going to be looking into that one a little bit. There it is. Alright, good. I'm just going to be looking for any other possible little spots, little changes in the eye that perhaps suggest a past, present, or future health concern, or even a strength in the organ. If one area is perhaps just built a little bit better. I'll try not to get too close. The magnifying glass is quite strong, but as you well know, the iris is very detailed, very complex. Okay, I'll take just a moment and review what we have. And I did find that one, so let me mark that down. Okay. And then I think I'll just look just a little bit more. I haven't found anything so far with our very detailed view here. It's not likely that I will. Okay? And then we'll switch to the other side. So we have quite a few spots here that we need to verify. So definitely there. Right in there. If I can find that other little, if I can find, right there. Okay. Let me note those real quick. I only like to keep a few in my mind at a time. Okay, so there's a couple other that I need to double check on. Okay, there's that little spot. Good. And now just one more that I need to make sure. Alright. Just having a good look around. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Making sure that I verified everything to the best of my ability. Okay. Right. I think that'll do it. All right. So let me just double check here. Looks like there was only one that I only was able to find with the higher strength magnifying glass as well as the ophthalmoscope. So that's good. Everything else I was pretty much able to verify at almost every level. So that's good. Now, final step is I'm going to take your picture. More specifically, I'm going to take a picture of each iris. Now, we used to use a real high-tech camera, but as it turns out nowadays, our phones take very, very high-res pictures. So I'm going to be snapping a couple photos of each iris so that I can review them. I can again re-verify each area that I found before, and I can see if there's absolutely anything else that I need to add. All right? So you don't have to do absolutely anything except for just look straight ahead, and we're gonna snap, snap, and then right over here we're going to snap, snap, snap. Good. Let me just make sure that those were clear. Good. Okay. Yeah, almost all of those were pretty clear. So that'll also help if for whatever reason there's a spot that's really stumping me as to what's going on. I can always send those to a colleague and see if I can get some corroboration. Now, other than that, I think that will about do it. You have any questions at all? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to formally record this, and then I'll put it in a document that either I can send to you over email, or we can do physical mail if you prefer that as well. And I'm just going to look at those photos on my computer screen. That way I can zoom in a little better and just make sure that everything I saw is indeed right there when I have the time to look and zoom in on those photos. So now that we're speaking of that, would you prefer to get the information by mail or by email? Okay. And would you mind just confirming what that was for me? Okay, very good. All right. So you should probably hear from me within a couple of days. I'll probably look at those pictures a little later, and that way I can get everything all drawn up into a nice, neat document. I can even send the pictures of your irises if you'd like. I can point out where I've seen the little blips, okay? Yeah, let me just note that down. Okay, so I think that is about all I need from you. Okay, anything else? All right, thank you so much for coming to my office to receive this iridology health assessment. I hope it was relaxing, and I hope you enjoyed the process. Okay? All right, I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night.